Hi, my name is Katie, and today I'm going to be discussing with you a little bit about my educational philosophy and educational background. Growing up, I've always been around teachers. My dad has been a fifth grade teacher for over 20 years, and my mom also graduated with a teaching credential, even though she stayed at home with us and started substitute teaching probably when I was about 15. Therefore, the idea of teachers has always been around, but it's not because of my parents that I want to become a teacher. I've always wanted to do this, and I've had a passion for it since a very young age. I've been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to work with many different students, parents, tutoring centers, and schools, so I believe that I've found my philosophy from that as well as what I've been learning in school. I believe that there are core subjects: math, reading, writing, music, art, social studies, science, language, and physical education. And while we need to focus on how to teach these subjects, they always should change with the time and what's going on. And that's what's defined as the essentialist philosophy. On the other hand, I believe that it's really important to incorporate your students' interests and cultures, which identifies with the progressivist philosophy. So I believe that the teacher should incorporate both the core subjects as well as their student interests into the classroom. I would define education as opportunity for students to learn in an environment that is most helpful for them, no matter what their needs may be. And I think as a teacher, we need to create an environment where everyone can learn and succeed. And that's the ultimate purpose of I've been very fortunate in my schooling in that I've had mostly very good teachers. I grew up in a town called Oceanside, California, and I went to elementary school for K through 5 at Prescott Elementary, and then I moved on to middle school at Roosevelt Middle School for grades 6 through 8. In high school, I was in honors classes and advanced placement classes for 9th through 12th grade. I began taking Spanish in my 8th grade year, and I started playing clarinet in 5th grade, which I continued through 11th grade, so I got to participate in marching band. And I also participated in theater throughout high school. For the most part, I really enjoyed school up until about my junior, senior year. I got decent grades, mostly B's. I had a 4.0 once, only in 8th grade, but I graduated in the top 10% of my class, but nothing exceptional. To give a better example of the demographics of the area that I grew up in, I took a video at the San Diego County Fair just to show the diversity of the area. According to the U.S. Census, our population is 48% white, 36% Hispanic. The other 16% is made up of Black or African American, American Indian, Asian, and Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islanders. The demographics of my high school were very similar to what you saw in the previous video, as well as the statistics that I just told you, and as you are now seeing in my high school yearbook. Pick a teacher that I think of as the most loving, compassionate, inspirational, because I try to think of all of my teachers like that, even though some of them may not have always come across that way. I know that every teacher has shaped my journey, but the one I ended up picking was Mrs. Dell. She had a really tough job. In 5th grade, my teacher left about 4 months into the year to work for another school, and Mrs. Dell came and took over for her. And she came into a bunch of kids who were really upset about the situation, and she was just a wonderful teacher. She really taught me how to become a strong writer. And, you know, at the time I didn't really appreciate her, but now looking back, I realized how wonderful she was, how caring and compassionate she was. And I actually had the opportunity my senior year to volunteer at an elementary school in one of the classrooms, and she was one of the partner teachers. And so I had an opportunity to revisit how really inspirational she was, because she was just so caring and interested in teaching these kids and doing everything that she possibly could to help them learn.